The separation of mixtures of ethylene and ethane is important in the context of the production of high purity ethylene, typically with purities larger than 99.95% that are demanded in feedstocks for polymerization reactors. In the past, the developments have focused on metal organic frameworks in which ethylene is preferentially adsorbed. More recently, the focus has shifted to MOFs in which ethane is preferentially adsorbed. The advantage of such MOFs is that ethylene can be recovered in the adsorption cycle, and the attainment of higher purities in a pressure swing adsorption cycle is easier if the desired product is recoverable in the adsorption cycle. The development that is reported in Angaband Shemi 2025, with this reference given here from authors from Nanjing Technical University, NTU, report the synthesis of a hydrogen bonded linked interpenetrated porous network termed NTU101NH2 that exhibits structural dynamics and framework flexibility on adsorption of ethane and ethylene. The important feature of this development is that the separations that are selective to ethane persist at higher temperatures. Here are the breakthrough experimental data at 328 Kelvin with NTU101NH2, which shows that ethylene is rejected into the gas phase and can be recovered in the adsorption cycle. The separation is effective at 328 Kelvin, and this is an important development in alkene-alkane separations. The separation of mixtures of propylene and propane is important in the context of production of high purity propylene for use as feedstocks in polymerizations to polypropylene. Most of the MOF developments are focused on mixture separations in which propylene is most strongly adsorbed. In a recent paper published in Chinese Chemical Letters, referenced here, this paper reports the synthesis of a bifunctional ultra microporous metal organic framework, cobalt AIP-PYZ, with customized pore environment and selective binding sites. The important feature of this development is that the selectivity of propene with respect to propane is remarkably high and of the order of 10 to the 4. This high selectivity is important because the amount of propane that is absorbed within the pores is significantly reduced, and therefore the purity requirements for propylene that is recovered in the desorption cycle can be more easily met. The authors of this paper, published in Chinese Chemical Letters, demonstrate the feasibility of using cobalt AIPPYZ by carrying out breakthrough experiments at a variety of flow rates, and they demonstrate the practical applicability of this MOF for propylene-propane separations. And the advantages of this MOF with regard to other MOFs in the literature is established by comparisons of the isosteric heats of absorption, the packing density of the gas molecules, the uptake ratios, the economic feasibility, and the fact that the uptakes are superior to those of competing MOFs such as UTSA 400, cobalt gallate, and Kaust 7. The propylene feedstocks to polymerization reactors demand that the concentration of propyne C3H6 be lower than about 40 ppm. The selective absorption of propyne from mixtures with propylene is the subject of this paper published in ACS Materials Letters in 2025 from the authors from the Fujian Institute of Research on the Structure of Matter. The important novel features of the developments reported in this paper are as follows. The MOF use separates selectively propyne from mixtures with propylene by relying on kinetic separations. The second important feature is that the mixture separations are based on differences in the gating flexibility in two-dimensional MOFs with framework flexibility. The two MOFs are FJI W3AA and FJI W3AB. The two flexible MOFs are both able to achieve the selective absorption of propyne with high kinetic selectivities. The propyne-propene kinetic separations with the two flexible MOFs AA and AB are demonstrated by means of breakthrough experiments that show the selective adsorption of propyne and the almost complete rejection of propylene into the gas phase, which implying that the desired propylene with the required purity can be recovered in the adsorption cycle. We also note that the AA version of the flexible MOF is more effective in these separations because the rejection into the gas phase occurs significantly earlier than the AB isomer. In a paper published in ACS Applied Materials and Interfaces, authors from the Zhejiang Normal University employ cooperative ligand engineering to synthesize 3 zinc-based metal organic frameworks, ZJNU406, ZJNU407, and ZJNU408. Of these, ZJNU408 is the one that is most effective for selective adsorption and removal of C2H2, which is acetylene, from mixtures containing CO2 and methane. The selective adsorption of C2H2 from mixtures containing either CO2 or methane are demonstrated with the aid of breakthrough experiments. With ZJNU408, the breakthrough experiments for C2H2 CO2 mixtures are shown here, and for C2H2 CHO mixtures, the breakthroughs are shown in this graph. It's important to note that the desired product C2H2 is recovered in the desorption cycle, and therefore the experiments here show both the adsorption cycle and the desorption cycle. Improved separations are achieved by post-synthetic modifications with copper ions, and the breakthrough experiments with copper ZJNU408 and copper ZJNU408 are shown here for C2H2CO2 mixtures and C2H2CH4 mixtures. All these developments are reported in this paper that is referenced here. Hexafluoroethane is widely used in the semiconductor industry. During the production of hexafluoroethane, byproducts such as hydrofluorocarbons, shown here, are also produced, and the recovery of purified hexafluoroethane from ternary mixtures is the subject of the paper published in Angewandte Chemie in 2025 by authors from the Fujian Institute of Research on the Structure of Matter. The authors from Fujian Institute of Research on the Structure of Matter demonstrate that within the bipolar pores of 661 copper, The hydrofluorocarbons are much more strongly adsorbed due to electrostatic interactions with the framework atoms than hexafluoroethane. And one-step purification of hexafluoroethane is achievable from ternary mixtures, as is demonstrated from the breakthrough experiments shown here. In a more recent paper published in Angewandte Chemie, referenced here, researchers from the Fujian Institute of Research on the Structure of Matter have demonstrated the efficacy of a hydrogen bonded organic framework MOF TDBB, whose structure is shown here, and this hydrogen bonded organic framework has been demonstrated to be capable of one-step purification of hexafluoroethane from mixtures containing hydrofluoroethanes. The one-step purification of hexafluoroethane using the hydrogen bonded framework of TDBB has been demonstrated by means of breakthrough experiments with both binary mixtures and a ternary mixture shown in these graphs. In a paper published in Small in 2025, researchers from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, demonstrate that a microporous zinc MOF IIT KGP 24 is capable of selective absorption of acetylene from mixtures containing ethane, ethylene, and carbon dioxide. In a paper published in Chemistry, a European journal, researchers from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, demonstrate that a two-dimensional zinc MOF IIT KGP 27 is capable of producing purified methane from mixtures containing impurities such as ethane, acetylene, ethylene, and carbon dioxide.